Well, we don't think that you should tax those who are choosing a different lifestyle than what the government should. Why is that? Because we think that those taxes are not inherent, they're really forbidding or really hurt those individuals' rights. Some of them will speak about it in our speech. But what I will talk about is how we think that moderate, or actually what we talk about, we think that this is not about those things. We think that, yes, it's about taking the money, and then we will explain that this is something that is not a good way of money, because we think that this is not, those are not sins, therefore, So, what we should do, how I will answer to what you have just told. We think that, yes, of course we can do it, and of course we have the right to do it. But the question was, if should we do it? I think that this, the answer is supposed, in our side, of course, is no. Why is that? Because we think that those limitations that you are putting, all the other side of the opposition said that they're moderate or in between or something that is possible to do. We think that those limitations, money limitations, create a situation that some of the people, just like we showed you and more started to talk about, some of them are really hurt because they can't use those indexes. They can't afford themselves a pack of cigarettes. They can't afford themselves to drive a car and stuff like that. Therefore, if you say that, and he said that we don't want to hurt the individual rights, therefore, this way is something that we should not do because it really prevents from someone to do that. But second of all, what the great example that he gave us, he gave it in a comparison with Vietnam and New Zealand. And he thinks that the reason that in Vietnam people are smoking more is because of the price of the cigarettes. Well, no. There is maybe a connection, but there is no...
correlation, not causation.
Yeah. We think that when you are in New Zealand, we have sun, fun, and the beach and stuff like that. And Vietnam, well, it's Vietnam. It's beautiful, but it's poor in a horse way country. Those people need to smoke more. Therefore, we think that this is why they smoke more. When you don't show us that this is the reason of their pain and they are smoking, no, you're not should get this or this. Therefore, what we are saying. First opposition told us that Nofar, actually we have two first opposition, we have Nofar and we have Elo. Nofar said that what the problem is the social drinker, the social smoker, those are the problem. She didn't address whatsoever to the principle of sin taxes. She said about alcohol and cigarettes. We think that this is not only the things that are in sin taxes. If there are things that you want to abolish or to moderate, we think that this is not the way of life. This is not the way. And therefore, Or said that the problem is those who are addicts. The problem is maybe become addicts. Both of them are saying that there is a better way for those for this proposition, because we think that when you allow drinking, when you allow cigarettes, you get the idea of someone may be addicted. But we don't think that when you get addicted, and this is what Or said, when you get addicted, when you get an addiction, the money doesn't matter for you because you need the next dose, you need the next cigarette, alcohol, and stuff like that. Therefore, we think that when you tax those lifestyles, we think that this is something that is not okay. Just like with, because it hurts society and stuff like that, there are a lot of things that hurt society. Eating meat hurts society. Everything can be used as society, and those are your problems. Therefore, you should maybe allow and you don't allow because you think that the human, the individual rights are more important than maybe hurting society. But even if you think that this is something that is more important, therefore in public or in public sphere, therefore you should not drink or you should not smoke. That's what we do. That's what we do today. Okay. Before my second argument is why is the purpose, and this doesn't get the purpose as much as we need. I will take first opposition.
Okay. Yeah, okay, but I agree with you, but we said the problem are not the addicts, they're the people who might become addicts.
Those who might become addicts, so when you hurt all the society of those who are smoking or those who are drinking for the few people that might get addicted. This is not a proportional response to what this is not a proportional response to what you're supposed to be. This is not a proportional response to this problem. And if you have those problems, so keep track of how they are there, and especially go with the young adults. Therefore, what is the purpose of this taxes? Avishai started it and he said, we need and we want more money. Why is we think that this is a good way of money, or why the government today thinks that this is a good way of money? Because we think that sin taxes are about sins, about those who are something that is not really necessary, and those who consume those products are, we have an alternative. First of all, More showed you that in some of the things, there are no alternatives. Those who are living in peripheria, those who have some more harsh life, and therefore. But what we showed you is this is not a good way. Why? Because when those who are rich or those who can afford to do that, those taxes doesn't make any much difference. But those who are not as rich as supposed to, this tax is critical for their life. This tax, just like we showed you, is preventing those human rights, those individual rights for smoking, for drinking, for driving their own personal car, not public transportation. But therefore, because we think that the response of the sin taxes is not proportional to the problem that the first and second opposition showed you, and we think that if there is a problem, just like they told you, this is not the way, because it's preventing some of individual rights. I think that therefore you should abolish sin taxes.